I have an open question. Could Martin Luther King Jr. have done what he did without religion? Martin Luther King Jr. is a really amazing figure, and he's one of those people where the more you learn about him, the more miraculous he seems. Most of all, for the ways in which he held to his ideals of non-violence and of radical love amidst truly horrible and unambiguously terrible racial abuse. He acted lovingly towards people who actively hated him and what he stood for. And frankly, I don't know if the compassion he had makes any sense if you don't believe in some kind of higher ideals like heaven. I mean, his followers were attacked, they had dogs set upon him, he was stabbed, and he said, "Love thy neighbor nonetheless." In one of his speeches, he said, "We will outlast your ability to inflict suffering with our capacity to endure suffering." That's kind of an insane and supernatural thing to say, I think. And I'm wondering, could this kind of radical love exist without this sort of religious view? But times have changed a lot. In the 1960s, over 90% of Americans had a religious affiliation. That number has dropped massively nowadays. And when I grew up, the new atheist movement was a big thing. The general vibe was that any intellectual worth their salt wouldn't believe in the sky guy. And a lot of the reasons that decline are perfectly sensible. I don't want to fight against that. But all this just has me wondering about what the value of religion really is. And to that question, the idea of someone like Martin Luther King Jr. came to mind. I think people like him have this kind of unreasonable and infinite appreciation for the idea of love and of mercy. King really embodied that message Christ preached when he said, "If somebody smacks me, I will present them the other cheek." Again, if you're interested in self-preservation, that just doesn't make any sense. Other writers like Dostoevsky or Simone Weil have made the case that the justice system itself requires the belief in some kind of divine capacity for forgiveness, because otherwise forgiveness just doesn't make much sense. In short, their argument is something like, if you presume only this earthly world exists, there are too many good reasons to not forgive other people. And I'm wondering if you don't have some sort of infinite, incorruptible notion on the value of love or of mercy, is somebody like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. possible? Or is such a thing only possible if you have this sort of belief? And I'm wondering if these kind of ideals could exist within a secular world. Could the most loving humanist perhaps have done exactly what Martin Luther King Jr. did? Or was religion an indispensable element of his mission? What do you think?